Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost and this video is about how to take your energy back from the narcissist. So I've already talked a lot about how it is a spiritual attack, it is a psychic attack, um, and there's much more going on energetically than just what's going on in the physical world, right? I just want to say thank you ever so much for being here. It does mean a lot to me. I didn't speak up fully about this for a long time, partly because of the backlash that that narcissists mainly will throw at me for they don't like being put in the light, right? But I'm strong enough to do it, and your support does mean a lot, and I'm happy it's helping, and I know it works, and I know what I'm saying is true, and I do channel a lot of information as well as my own life experience of dealing with it and seeing it for what it really is, right? So they live off mainly your negative emotions. And one of those emotions that's very compelling is fear. Your fear of what the narcissist will do next. Well, the two that are very, very low vibrational and that they feed off the most, I think, is your fear and shame. If you've been in abuse cycles, what I've found working with a lot of women who have been through, I work with men too, but it just happens that more women have come to me through the abuse cycle. I'm not saying that more men do it than women. I'm not saying that at all. It's just so far in my practice. And I'm happy to work with men. It's the same thing, right? There's no difference. A man can go through I have worked with men, gone through this, and it's exactly the same. It doesn't just happen to women. Although I'd say often women are a bit easier to trap because they tend to get in financial traps a bit easier, often, not always. So people get isolated. So the narcissist wants to isolate you, put you in your own mental prison, your own personal hell, and really separate you from waking up to what's really going on and taking your power back. So a lot of people who have been through abuse cycles, they get cut off from their friends and family. Sometimes the friends and family don't exist. Like I didn't have that kind of support behind me. But I had friends, sorry, but like people don't necessarily understand it. And I was, isolated for various reasons. But people get fed up with hearing about it. They don't understand why you go back. They don't understand that this is an addiction and a psychic attack. And it's very compelling to want to go back. It's very natural to want to go back. That is one of the things that other people find confusing. And they'll often just have enough of you, right? Because they just don't want to hear about it anymore. Then we'll carry a lot of shame. And what I've noticed a lot with people I've worked with, and I think I've been there, is we just stop talking about it. We stop admitting what's going on. So then we fuel the illusion. We pretend our relationships are great. We pretend that things are working out with this person, with this entity, the narcissist. We now are carrying shame and isolating ourselves, right? Because we don't understand how to manage our energy and this dynamic. We don't yet know how to break free and get away fully, not just physically, psychically. And we don't necessarily have the language or tools or understanding to explain it to people. And often we carry a lot of shame. So the first thing is let go of the shame. Really let go of the shame. That's one of the biggest traumas, I think, is the shame. Because it's like what sort of comes up for us on a human level is, well, what does this mean about me? That I'm treated in this way. We find it embarrassing. We're ashamed of it, right? How could someone that's supposed to love me do this? What does it mean about me? Am I unlovable? Am I stupid that I keep going back for this? We carry the shame for their behaviour, right? Often, rather than feeling horrified by them and making them accountable and being able to just break away, we absorb the shame, which is how they keep you stuck. One of the ways. The other way is fear. You're going to fear what they're going to do next. That's why I said to you about me speaking up properly. There's a little bit of fear in that. I know, especially narcissists. Not everyone doesn't like what I say as a narcissist. I know that for a fact. But the point is, We live in fear of telling our truth. We live in fear of what they'll do next. Many people who are the flying monkeys, the counterparts to the dynamics, don't want the narcissist to come at them, so they'll carry on with the illusion. We have to not be afraid. Someone said to me, or I read somewhere, they said, by the way, all religions are welcome here. I'm spiritually connected, and I'm not going to get into my own beliefs actually on that, but I want you to know that everyone's welcome here, and let's just be open on that, because we're here to connect to a higher power. Whatever you believe in, source, God, the universe, we're here to connect to ourselves spiritually. But I did read that in the Bible it says 365 times, do not be afraid. Fear fuels this entity, your fear. So we have to be in defiance of it. Easier said than done, but we have to. We will not give our power away. Now, our power counts, like I keep saying, as our psychic energy as well. So when I'm letting someone control, right, and this is hard to break it because it's trauma involved, right, and I'm going to talk more about it. I do trauma release sessions with people, but like, basically when we're very traumatized or living in these cycles, we're letting someone control how we feel. I promise you have the power to break free, but we cannot let them control how we feel anymore. We've got to take our energy back, right? And they don't have any power over you at that point. Now, is there extremely complicated situations that people are in financially, in contracts, marriages, all sorts of things? Yep, they put you in traps, because once you start waking up, there's no way you'd stay if you weren't enmeshed, if it wasn't sticky, if it was just as simple as floating out of it, you know what I mean, and getting away. So very, very much they are using power, control, and domination. The first thing is to start healing the traumas by, I mean, I do it energetically. I've got my own modality, but like, there's lots of things you can look up in terms of healing traumas. Many of you probably seen therapists, that kind of stuff. But you literally have the power to bring your energy back. You are an energy being. You are a spiritual being. You are beyond your matter, right? And so like, when you actually decide to consciously intend what you do with your energy and start seeing it as something within your control, that's why I say to you, no consent to the narcissist, not just no context, so no consent psychically. A lot of us are not taught about metaphysics and actually that we are energetic beings. We do have an energy field, an aura that is much more than just our human bodies, right? But you have the intentional power to bring your energy back. You can feel when someone's thinking about you. You can feel telepathically. We are much more sensory, right, than we know. So just knowing, you get to intentionally pull your energy back. You get to intentionally not consent. Nothing can touch you in this universe unless you consent to it. But when you consent, you're not consenting to everything it does, because you're just consenting to letting it in. So dropping the shame. I will not be ashamed of this. I'm going to drop the shame. It's not your fault. This is not your fault. It's a very sticky situation that's very misunderstood. Secondly, we banish the fear. You banish the fear by being in defiance of it. Right? Because God, the universe, source, can only, like a higher power, can only work through you and for you when you're not enmeshed in the fear of anything else, right? You've got to take yourself back. Trust the universe will take care of it. Trust in a higher power. I know that can sound a lot to people, but I promise you it works. It's the only way. We've got to dig deeper into our spirits and souls, deeper into our authentic truth, and actually almost like stop trying to control the situation, but let the balance, and this universe is about balance. Things will be put back in balance, and that's what's going on spiritually, right? There's a balance that needs to come in. Now, has there always been dark forces on the planet? Yes. Always. If you read any scriptures, there's always been. People talk about, God and the devil or whatever it is, but there's always been this, right? So our job is to come into the light. You defeat it that way. You are invincible when you're working with a higher power, right? And that means that it's not just It's we have to own our energy. Like, it's not just I hand it over to a higher power and the world changes. It's I allow myself to be guided by a force of nature that is bigger than me, by being in defiance, by knowing who I am, by saying no consent, by allowing myself to trust my intuition. That's how Source Spirit God talks through you, your intuition. And your intuition did know. Your intuition knows this is wrong. Your intuition knows what this person is or these people are, right? You've always had those inklings. Now we get to trust ourselves. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if that's a bit too out there. Maybe you don't agree with everything I'm saying. You don't have to agree with everything I'm saying. If something in it helps you, then that's awesome. It's a metaphysical universe. We are spiritual beings. We're way beyond our physical bodies. We get to work with a higher power, Source, God. Every religion is actually welcome in my world. Like, I know that might upset some people, but I'm here for people working from the light. Yeah? I'm here for people who are wanting to be better human beings, right? I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I still know how to come into my heart, right? Work with the forces of nature that exist on this planet. There are more resources than we know about available to us spiritually, but we don't know how to manage our energy or our spiritual resources. And I'm going to teach you that. So I hope that's helpful. Any comments, let me know. If you don't like it, you don't like it, and I'm sorry about that, but I am going to share what I really know. So lots of love. I'll speak to you soon.